Welcome to the Samsung Galaxy A72 tips and tricks video. In this video, I am going to share over 50 tips and tricks and hidden features for the Samsung Galaxy A72 users. If you're watching my channel for the very first time, it would be massively appreciated if you can hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon. Also, if you find this video good enough at some point, do hit the like button as well. Alright, so I would like to make a few things clear first. These tips and tricks are not something entirely new. These have been there for all other Samsung phones as well. And this video is basically for the Samsung Galaxy A72 owners who are using this phone for the very first time or who are completely new to the Samsung brand. So if you are familiar with some of these tips and tricks already, make sure that you do not mind me sharing these once again for the new Samsung Galaxy A72 owners. So let's go ahead and start off with the tips and tricks now, starting off with the fingerprint scanner tip. First of all, the fingerprint scanner of this phone right now, as you can see, is quite slow, and I would like to show you how you can make it super fast. So what you can do is you can go to the settings of the phone, and in the settings you can go to the biometrics and security. Now here, go to the fingerprints, type your password, and then turn off the show animation when unlocking. Go back and now click on more biometric settings and turn off the show unlock transition effect. Go back and now go to the apps on your phone. Click on this button here. Go to the special access, optimize battery usage. Click on all. And now here type biometrics and turn off the battery optimization for the biometrics. Let's see the magic now. So folks, you can see that the fingerprint scanner is now ultra fast. So this is how you can improve the speed of the fingerprint scanner on your Samsung Galaxy A72. Next up, I would like to show you how you can take a screenshot on your phone. So just press the volume down and the power key, and it will capture a screenshot. If a page is scrollable, it will show you the scrolling icon or the symbol, and you can take a scrolling screenshot. Otherwise, you can swipe the palm of your hand on the screen like this, and it will also capture a screenshot. Speaking of the screenshot, also reminds me of the screen recorder on this phone. To use the screen recorder, just pull down the notifications panel and click on the screen recorder here. Now select what sounds you want to record. Start recording. Skip the countdown and the recording starts. Now here you can see this symbol. If you click on this icon, it brings the selfie video inside the screen recording. Now this is really useful if you want to record some tutorials on your phone, and if you want to write something on the screen while recording a video, just click on this small pen icon, and now you can write on the screen while recording. If you want to make some changes to the screen recorder or change how it works on the phone, just pull down the notifications panel once again and long press the screen recorder icon. It will take you to the screen recorder settings, and now here you can completely change the behavior of the screen recorder. You can choose if you want to hide the status and the navigation bars while recording the screen. You can change the screenshot format, and you can also change the selfie video size and the video quality as well. You can also access the settings for all other toggles using the same trick. Just go to the notifications panel and the toggles area and long press the icon of any toggle to access its settings. You can also quickly access some of the options by simply tapping on the title of the toggles. For example, if I tap on the title of the eye comfort shield, it takes me to the eye comfort shield's color temperature. Similarly, if I tap on the torch title, it takes me to the brightness level of the torch. This works for all other toggles. If you want to add new toggles or remove some of the toggles from this menu, you can just click on the options here and click on edit buttons. Now these are the buttons that are not currently available in the toggles, and you can just drag any of these buttons and bring them in the active toggles on your smartphone. You can remove the toggles that you don't want using the same method. Now you must have seen that when you pull down the notifications bar, the brightness bar does not appear here. To access the brightness bar on your phone, you have to pull it down once again, and here the brightness control appears. Back in the day, the option to stick the brightness bar to the top of notifications used to appear here, but it does not appear here anymore. So in order to stick the brightness bar to the top of the notifications now, you have to click on this options button here and click on quick panel layout. Now click on show brightness control above the notifications. Done. And now when you pull down the notifications, you can see the brightness bar or the brightness control right here. Similarly, if you click on these options once again, you can also see the status bar settings here. In the status bar settings, at the top you can choose how many notifications you want to see in the notification bar. For example, you can show a few number of notifications only, or 3 most recent, or none at all. You can also show or hide the battery percentage from here. You can also turn on or off the notifications history from here. You can also change the behavior of the floating notifications. You can select the bubbles, the smart pop-up view, or completely turn off the floating notifications. Whenever a new message comes in, it suggests you a reply automatically. If you don't want those suggestions, you can turn them off from here. Next up, I would like to show you some useful options that also appear under the notifications toggles. Here you can also find the dark mode. The dark mode is useful on Super AMOLED screens. It can save a little bit of battery life on your phone. The quick share here will let you share large files within a matter of a few seconds between two Samsung devices. The nearby share feature works in a similar manner. Using the nearby share, you can share large files, data, or anything else between two devices that support the nearby share feature. I'll now quickly take you to the home screen settings of the Samsung Galaxy A72. Just tap and hold on an empty area on the home screen of your phone and click on settings. In the settings at the top, you can see the home screen layout. You can change the home screen layout to home screen only or the home screen and applications. Choose whatever you like from here. Next up, we have the home screen and the app screen grid. By default, it is set to 4x5. If you want to fit more icons onto one page, you can change it to 5x6 and the icons will become smaller and you can fit more icons on one screen. It looks cleaner and you will have a fewer pages on your phone. I suggest making the same change for the home screen grid as well. It looks pretty cool this way. Next up, in the same settings, we have the show apps screen button on the home screen. Back in the day, Samsung used to give us the app screen button to access the application drawer, but now you just have to swipe up to access the applications. But if you still want the application drawers button, you can enable it from here, and now you can see that we have an applications button appearing right here. And the swipe up also works along with this button. So it's completely up to you if you want to use it or not. Next up, we have the lock home screen layout. The lock home screen layout will basically lock the home screen. It will prevent the icons from moving here and there as a result of accidental touches. So if you are tired of the icons moving here and there every now and then, you can just lock the home screen layout to one state and it will stay there. Next up is the add new apps to the home screen option. Whenever you install a new application from the Google Play Store, it adds its shortcut to the home screen of your phone. If you don't want this to happen, you can just turn it off and it will not add the newly installed applications to the home screen of your phone. Next up is the hide apps option. Hide apps, as it says, it will let you hide the applications from your phone's application drawer. Just select the application and click on done. And now if we go here, you can see that the Google Chrome is gone from here. To bring back the hidden application, you will go to the same hide apps and from here you will unselect the application that you removed previously. Go back to the application drawer and your restored application will appear at the end of the application drawer. In the same home screen settings, we also have the swipe down for notification panel. This option now comes turned on by default. It used to be off back in the day, but it just allows you to swipe down from any area on the home screen to access the notifications panel of your phone. You can just turn it off or keep it turned on, whatever you like. And in the end, we have the rotate to the landscape mode. You can rotate the screen of the entire phone, including the application drawer and everything else to the landscape mode. But to do so, you will have to turn this option on and the rotate will start working. Before I take you into the settings of the Samsung Galaxy A72, I would like to show you the camera tips and tricks. Open the camera application on your phone and the camera application welcomes you with the photo mode. By default, this phone is going to take images of 16 megapixels, and if you want to capture the high-res 64 megapixels images, you will click on this 3:4 here and switch it to the 64 megapixels mode. This way you will capture the high-res photos, but remember, in this mode the zoom or other options including the HDR are not going to work. So I suggest keeping it to 3:4 because this is the mode that works the best on this phone. If we move to the portrait here, it shows you the intensity. This is the intensity of the background blur. If you want extreme background blur, you can just raise it. By default, it is at 5, but you can increase it to 7 as well. Or if you want a minimal background blur, you can just decrease this value. We have the single take feature here. Single take basically captures 10 images and videos, and it automatically edits those pictures and videos and prepares them for sharing on the social media platforms. Next up is the fun mode. The fun mode has come as a result of a collaboration between Samsung and Snapchat. It basically gives you the access to a lot of Snapchat filters and lenses, and you can just take better Snapchat images and videos using the fun feature on your Samsung Galaxy A72. To choose a different filter, you can just click on these buttons and it will let you apply different filters and lenses on your images or videos. Back to the photo mode, if you long press this button, it will start taking a video. So how do you capture the birdshot images if long pressing this button is going to record a video? Well, just tap on the top of this button and drag it down and it will capture the birdshot images. Next up is the night mode. It's quite self-explanatory. And then we have the video mode. In the video mode, at the top you can see this symbol. If you just click on it, it will turn on the super steady mode. It will make your video super stable, but it will also compromise on the resolution. So use it when you want extreme stability. We have the more options here. In the more options, I would like to talk about the Pro mode first of all. The Pro mode has the ISO, the shutter speed, the focus, the white balance, and the color options. From here, you can change the frame for the Pro mode. This phone does not have RAW capture capability, which is quite disappointing. I was expecting a better Pro mode on this one, but unfortunately, it is similar to what we had on the Samsung Galaxy A71 last year. The phone also has its Pro video mode. If you just want to record a video in the manual mode, you can just record it using the Pro video mode. Once again, you can see the video resolution options here, and we have the ISO, the shutter speed, and some other options at the bottom once again. And by the way, the live focus has been renamed as the portrait mode. If you want to bring some of these options to the camera tray, you can just drag the buttons and drop them onto the camera tray. Click on save and the icons will start appearing right here in the camera tray of the smartphone. Let's take a look into the camera settings now. Format and advanced options include the ultra wide shape correction. Make sure it is turned on, otherwise the ultra wide images will have that fisheye effect. If you want to add a custom watermark to your images, you can just turn on the watermark and define the watermark of your choice in the camera application right here. When you open the phone application on your phone, it often opens up the recents straight away. If you want the phone application to open the keypad all the time, you can just open the phone application, click on this options button here and click on open to keypad. Whenever you will open the phone application now, it will open to the keypad and make it easy for you to dial the numbers. Let me also show you some tips and tricks inside the gallery application of the phone. If you want to group similar images together, you can just click on this icon and it will group the similar images together and make it easier for you to either find those images or delete all those images at once. Also, if you open any image on your phone and zoom in like this, a crop button appears here. If you click on the crop button, it will automatically capture a screenshot or just crop it and give you another new image. In the application drawer at the top, you can see these options. If you want to sort the pages in alphabetical order, you can do so from here. Similarly, if you want to clean up the pages automatically, you can click on this icon and now you can see that the icons have come together on a single page. The extra pages have been cleaned up. On this phone, you also have the edge panels that you can access by swiping this bar from right here. And now you can see these application shortcuts. If you want to add more bars to the edge panels, you can just go to the settings of the edge panels by clicking on the settings icon And you can enable further bars including the people, smart select, tasks, weather, tools, and the reminders. Now you can see that we have some new bars in the edge panels of the phone. It's time to go into the settings of the phone now. In the settings, I would like to show you the notification settings. First of all, at the top you can see brief and detailed. You can select how do you want the notifications to appear on the screen of your phone, whether you want to see the detailed notifications or you just want a brief look. And then we have the applications. You can select what applications do you want to show the notifications from. The brief pop-up settings can be changed from here. You can change the edge lighting style. We have all these styles, and you can even create some custom styles for the edge lighting. And then we have the color by keyboard and show even while the screen is off. Next up we have the display settings of the phone. In the display settings we have the motion smoothness. The A72 has 90 Hz refresh rate, which is really good. But if you want to use 60 Hz refresh rate in order to save a little bit of battery on your phone, you can change it to standard. Next up we have the screen mode. If you don't like the current colors of the screen, you can set it to natural or select the custom white balance from here. We have the font size and the screen zoom, which works in a similar manner. You can increase or decrease the font size from here and also change the font style. If you think that the elements on the screen are not large enough for you, you can increase the screen zoom from here to have a better visibility of the icons and elements on the screen. Next up is the full screen apps option. Any application that is not using the full screen mode by default, you can enforce it to use the full screen mode, or you can actually revoke the full screen access of such applications by turning them on or off from here. In the display settings, we also have the navigation bar. If you don't want to use these buttons, the old school buttons, you can turn on the swipe gestures from here. And now you can see that the buttons are gone and you have more room on the display of your phone. I don't like using the navigation gestures, so I stick to the buttons only. And here we also have the gesture hints, and if you're using the buttons, you can actually change the button order as well. You can bring the back key here and move the recent key from here to the back key's place. You can also set a screensaver on your Samsung Galaxy A72. You can set a custom image or choose some colors to show as the screensaver. As you can see, I have selected colors and this is how the screensaver works. Next up, we have the lock screen settings. Next up is the smart lock option. The smart lock will basically keep your phone unlocked at places or in situations when you want the phone to stay unlocked. For example, you want to keep the phone unlocked when the phone detects your body or at trusted places, or when a trusted device is connected to your phone. Next up, we have the secure lock settings. The secure lock settings basically make your privacy stronger. You can automatically lock the phone when the screen is turned off. You can define when do you want this to happen after 5 seconds, except when the phone kept unlocked by smart lock. You can lock instantly with the side key. For example, just turn off the phone screen by pressing the power key and it will lock the phone instantly. And then if someone tries to unlock your phone and makes 15 incorrect attempts to unlock the phone will automatically factory reset. The lock network and security will keep your phone's Wi-Fi or the mobile data on when your phone is lost and someone tries to unlock it. And then there is the show lockdown option. The show lockdown will basically display a power button and it turns off the smart lock, biometric lock and notifications on the lock screen of your phone. In the lock screen settings, we also have the always on display. You can change the behavior of the always on display. You can tap to show it for 10 seconds or show always or show at a particular time of a day. And you can also change the clock style from here. You can also create a custom always on display, and you can even add your own image or logo to the always on display using these settings. You can also show the music information on the always on display screen, and then we have the brightness control for the always on display right here. Next up, we have the wallpaper services. You can choose what wallpaper services do you want to use on the lock screen. There are the dynamic lock screen wallpapers. These wallpapers come from 10 different categories, and each category has a bunch of wallpapers that keeps changing every time you lock and unlock the screen of your phone. The Samsung global goals are kind of Samsung stories that Samsung's team posts every day And these are really colorful and nice wallpapers as well, and you can just turn them on from here. I personally prefer using the dynamic lock screen wallpapers because Samsung keeps adding new wallpapers to these dynamic lock screen wallpapers every now and then. You can also add or remove the widgets from the lock screen of your phone. Just click on the widgets here, and now you can choose the weather, the schedule, the digital well-being, and some other widgets to appear on the lock screen of your smartphone. Next up is the contact information. I suggest adding your phone number to the contact information so that just in case you end up losing your phone in an unfortunate event, the phone's finder will be able to contact you using the number provided on the contact information, just in case the finder happens to be really good. We have the notifications option for the lock screen as well. If you want to just show the icons or you want to show the details of the notifications, you can choose these options from here. Even if you want to show the details and you want to hide the content along with the details, you can simply hide the content from here. And then we have the shortcuts for the lock screen. These shortcuts appear on the lower left and right corners of the phone. When the phone screen is locked, you can see the shortcuts right here, the phone and the camera. If you want to change these shortcuts, you can just click on the left and right shortcut and pretty much choose any application to launch quickly right from the lock screen of your phone. Next up are the biometrics and security options. At the top, you can see the face recognition. Since this phone has a fingerprint scanner, most of the users will definitely stick to the fingerprint scanner only. But I suggest turning on the face recognition along with the fingerprint scanner of your phone. This will make it easier for you to unlock the phone when your hands are busy. Then we have the secure folder. If you want to create another instance inside your phone where you can store your private files and other data, you can turn on the secure folder, and this will be accessible only by you or whoever is the owner of the phone. We have the private share as well. The private share will let you share the files and some other data privately, but for this you need a SIM card in your phone. I don't have a SIM card in my phone, which is why I cannot demonstrate it right now. At the bottom we have the other security settings, and in the other security settings, make sure the make passwords visible is turned off, because when it's turned on, it shows the password for a very small amount of time whenever you type the password. Basically, it briefly shows the character preview when you are typing a password on your phone. So keep it turned off to add to your security. Here at the bottom we have the pin windows. The pin windows option basically locks the screen to a certain application only. For example, if I want to launch the YouTube application on my phone and I want to give my phone to a kid, but I don't want the kid to go out of the YouTube application, I can go to the recent applications, click on the icon of the YouTube and click on pin this application. Now, whoever is using the phone will be able to use the YouTube application, but will not be able to go out of the YouTube application. To turn off the pin windows, the user has to press and hold the recent and the back keys at the same time, and the phone takes you to the lock screen instead of taking you to the home screen. So this is how useful the pin windows are as far as your privacy is concerned. The pin windows, as I accessed it from the recent applications, also reminds me of the multi-window or the split view. So you can go to the recent applications once again and click on the applications icon and click on open in split view screen. Now you can select another application that you want to use alongside your previously selected application. For example, I want to use Chrome along with YouTube. Now you can see that in one window I am using the YouTube application and in one window I am using the Chrome browser. After biometrics and security, we have the advanced features on this phone. In the advanced features at the top, you can see the call and text on other devices. For example, if you have a tablet, you can connect the tablet with your Samsung Galaxy A72 and any calls made to your Samsung Galaxy A72 will automatically pop up on your tab, and this way you will be able to use two devices for the same purpose. Then we have the continue apps on other devices. This is something that works in a manner similar to call and text on other devices. You can basically continue using the applications from the same place from another device. but that device should be synced with your Samsung Galaxy A72. Next up is the link to Windows feature. It will basically link your smartphone to your Windows computer. Android Auto is now wireless, but for this you need to have the wireless Android Auto in your car as well. The motions and gestures have the lift to wake at the top. If you want the phone to automatically wake up when you lift it up, you can turn this option on. Double tap to turn on or off. The screen is turned on by default, but just in case if it's turned off, you can turn it on. It's a really useful feature. You can double tap the screen when the screen is off and the screen will automatically wake up. The mute with gestures and palm swipe to capture is quite self-explanatory. One-handed mode, as its name suggests, will let you use the phone with one-handed mode, and there are two ways to launch the one-handed mode. You can either use a gesture or just double tap the home button to launch the one-handed mode on your phone. And you can also resize the size of the one-handed mode. In the advanced features, we also have the dual messenger. The dual messenger will basically let you use two instances of the social media applications that support it. All the applications that support this feature will automatically appear here. Right now I have Facebook installed on my phone, so Facebook appears here, but I would like to tell you that the dual messenger supports Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Moving on to the battery and the device care. Here I would like you to schedule the auto restart. You can go to the options here and click on automation and turn on the auto reset at times. Now you can define the time. Select an odd hour to automatically restart your phone. It is really useful for the overall health of your smartphone. In the general management, go to the keyboard, current keyboard, the Samsung keyboard settings, swipe, touch and feedback. And in the swipe, touch and feedback, click on touch feedback. And now turn off the character previews. Whenever you type on the Samsung keyboard, it shows the character previews, which is not good for your privacy at times. So if you don't want those character previews to appear there, you can turn them off from here. We also have the accessibility settings here. In the accessibility settings, you can go to the interaction and dexterity, and in the interaction and dexterity, turn on the interaction control. This is something similar to the pin windows, but it is a more restrictive mode. For example, let's say I want to show an image to someone, but I don't want the person to move inside my gallery. With the pin windows, the person will be able to look through the entire gallery, but with this feature, the person will not be able to look anywhere other than the image that you have opened. For example, I want to show an image to someone, but I don't want the person to go through the entire gallery of my phone. The pin windows will let the person snoop through the entire gallery, but I even want to block the screen. So the interaction control will let you block the screen. Just activate the interaction control and then press and hold the volume up and the side keys for a while, like this. Now it asks you whether you want to block the whole screen or you want to block a certain area of the screen. Let's say I want to block the whole screen. I can just select the whole screen, and now the screen is blocked and I cannot do anything on the phone. To turn off the interaction control, I will just press and hold the same volume up and the power buttons, and the phone will take me. And that's all with the Samsung Galaxy A72 tips and tricks. If you guys found this video useful, please hit the like button. And if you loved my hard work and efforts put into this video, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel as well. If you have any further questions or queries, use the comment section down below, and if you have discovered something about this phone that you think others should know as well, make sure to drop it in the comment section as well to help all other Samsung Galaxy A72 owners. With that being said, I will sign off and see you all in the next one.